attack or anything like that. So I wanted to pick something kind of generic because there's so many business owners out there. And a lot of that, like some of the things that we just talked about at my event where I hosted James Malinchak was, how do you build relationships and how do you use those strategies and that tactics to grow your business? So I thought, as I was building up to this day, I didn't know if I wanted to jump in and just start teaching a specific strategy. And I thought, no, let's really get into, how you build that relationship up first, because it's really important. It's not like you want to go to networking events and just kind of throw up over everybody. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to introduce myself and a little bit of my background so you know who I am if you're on the call and don't know who I am. So we'll just go ahead and we'll get started. Oh, maybe we'll get started. Hold on. Let's see. Oh boy. How do I move my PowerPoint ahead? Here it is down here. Next. Aha. Okay. Could you all see that?
Being an entrepreneur is lonely?
Being an entrepreneur is lonely.
Okay.
Because there is, thank you, Joy. There is, everybody's out there, right, that's a business owner, and that sometimes your significant other or sometimes your spouse is like, why don't you just go to a job and go 9 to 5 and come home and forget everything? And I understand that. Both my parents went to a job for 30 years and they were very, they wanted that paycheck, and I understand that. But I met so many people through being an entrepreneur, and since the time I was 20, that, thought they had a really secure job and then didn't. They got fired or they got let go. And so when people start to become an entrepreneur, it is a lonely place. You don't have a safe place to go to. There's no safe haven type of a place. So I understand that, and I appreciate everybody out there who does that. So when you start to be an entrepreneur, your plan is, hey, I'm just going to start. I'm going to put up a couple of social media posts. I'm going to put up a website, and it's smooth sailing all the way. And of course, that's not what happens. Reality is there's a lot of hills. There's a lot of, roadblocks. There's a lot of ups and downs as you go. So I get it, and I understand. So who am I and why listen to me? So I am a chamber member. I have, worked with hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs. My name is Becky Auer, and I've owned 3 multi-million-dollar businesses. The last was a restaurant I started here in Pittsburgh, was Nakama Japanese Steakhouse and Sushi Bar way back when in 2003. And I had that business and took it to over $6.5 million in just a little over a year, kept it there for 7 years, was exhausted, sold it. And since then, I have been teaching entrepreneurs, business coaches, how to market and to build their business. And it's my passion, and I just love it. So I literally run over 300 between workshops, seminars, boot camps, mastermind groups that I run, over 300 of those since 2006. It's been a blast. And I recently was just awarded Entrepreneur of the Year with a group of business coaches who I just adore. And it was just so unexpected and very cool. So I was blessed to do that. Whole bunch of other stuff. My daughter has CF, so I'm a very big fundraiser with Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and do keynote speeches and stuff like that. The point being, my passion is helping small business owners get to that next level, whatever that is to them. So maybe it's monetary, maybe they just want to build their list, maybe they want more people to walk through their door. So that's what I love to do, and that's what I hope to accomplish here with you. This was the award that I just got as the International Keynote Speaker at the Business Coaching Mastery, so it was pretty awesome. So we're going to go into our training today, 5 easy ways to build relationships and grow your business. So number 1, the goal in relationship marketing is pretty simple, right? You want to create a long-term relationship with your customer, and you want to have continued engagement as you go. And so what does that look like? To me, that looks like a lot of different touches. let me just ask a quick question to everybody out there listening. How, just give me a yes if you currently have a list that you can segment. So like an email list, not a list of like invoices in a drawer, but something online that you can go in and segment. Anybody out there have that?
Yes.
Okay, good. So if you don't, and if you're listening, the first thing that I suggest that you do is take your list, whether it's people that you meet at an event or customers that you have dealt with in the past, and put them into some kind of CRM program. So a CRM is Customer Relationship Management Program. I use Infusionsoft. It's a little like much for the person just starting out, but there are easier programs to use, and there are that are not nearly as expensive. There's free programs like MailChimp or Constant Contact. And then if you want to get a little more sophisticated, there's like Active Campaign where you can tag people with certain things. So you have to be able to build your list, and you have to be able to segment your list. Joy, what do you use, if you don't mind me asking?
You know, I put everything right in my send out card system.
Oh, perfect. Right. So Joyce with Send Out Cards, and she's all about relationship marketing. So that's a great avenue for you, because then you can just pull, I'm sure you make different groups and different lists on that.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so perfect. And so Cindy Morris, who I know is on the call, she's an Infusionsoft expert, and she actually helps me all the time. So Cindy would say, hey, Infusion is great if you are a little more extensive in your business, or have a bigger list, or you want to tag and you want to segment like down to the nth degree, right? But just know that there's a lot of different programs out there to be able to do that. I see here. Okay, I'll fix this next time so I don't have to have this on the bottom. Can you guys see this on the bottom of the screen, or no?
What, the Becky Air, all rights reserved?
No, it has mute, stop video, stuff like that.
No.
Oh, you can't? Okay, cool. So just
I'm not
FYI.
seeing it anyway.
Okay, so relationship-based marketing gives you a couple things, right? It gives you a lot of visibility. It positions you as the authority, which is one of the things that I like to talk about all the time. It gives you a great reputation if you do it correctly, and it gives you a lot of followers. And look, that's what you want, right? Everything that you produce, everything that you would Facebook Live about, everything that you would write articles about, everything that you want to share just positions you as the authority. So then when somebody thinks, oh, wait a minute, I want to go and get some insurance training, they're going to think of Lynn, right? Because she's shared that here's a couple tips on how to do that, or here's a way to supplement your income and those types of things. So everything that you write about, post about, send out about to your list should position you as the authority. And a lot of what I teach and talk about is what makes you unique, right? So you have to find a way that it really, they're going to choose a Lynn over somebody else. So what is that makes you unique? And we'll talk a little bit about that as we go forward. All right, so number one is to be social. I just gave a presentation in Cancun. One of my parts was, I'm on social media, not all the time, but probably at least a half hour a day. And I do that because I do share on my personal feed, not on a Facebook page, not on my, the page that you get when you're like, a celebrity or whatever that's called. I share it just on a personal feed, kind of like where I am and what I'm doing. So I guess that would be like lesson number one is you have to be somewhere and you have to be doing something. Because if you just stay in your office, right, and just are kind of like in your cubbyhole, yeah, you can do Facebook Lives and things like that. But when you meet face to face, it's 100 times better because you build that relationship quicker. Video, second best thing. So if you are not comfortable, going out, shaking hands, or giving small presentations, this is the next best thing. And you can practice just by yourself, which I love. But when you get on social media, look, there's a whole bunch of things to choose from. You can choose from Facebook Live. You can choose from just being on Facebook and doing a post. You can choose Insta. You can choose Snapchat. You really have to find out, though, where your target market is. So if your ideal target market is the younger millennial generation, then they're probably going to be over on Snapchat. So you would want to put together like a Snapchat story. Maybe they're on Instagram. You need to know those things before you go all in on social. And you really need to know what the demographics are for those people. So some of the things you might want to think about are, you know, who is, if you could pull out your perfect client and what they look like to you, and is it, you know, what are they male or female? What's that age range? Where do they live? Maybe it's a geographic thing. What do they like to watch? What do they like to listen to, right? Maybe it's podcasts. You really have to know those things, because then you can talk more directly to them, just like I'm trying to do here. When you talk and get in the brains of those people, and you're entering the conversation already going on in their head by sharing, you know, tips or struggles or successes and things like that, then they think, oh, she's just like me, or he's just like me. I really like them. I'm going to follow them. And then you start to build up that relationship. So just make sure that when you do your posts or when you do your tweets or whatever that is, that you are directing that to your ideal target market. And if you need help with that, like if you need a little more lesson on that, let me know, and I'll do one whole session about how to, you know, pinpoint who your ideal target market is. If you have a list, you probably already know who that is, like who your best client is, you know, then everything that you write and everything that you share should be directed towards that perfect ideal client, okay? So make sure you're hanging out with the right people. Step out, share your knowledge. Like, look, this was half a disaster, right? The first one always is. Like Lynn was on and Trace was running her back around. We didn't have the background set up. The first one's always kind of a mess. When I think back to 2006, when I started to run my No BS marketing meetings, it was such a disaster from where my meetings are today, right? So, but it's fear, right? You just have to get it out of the way and move forward. So, and then when you talk to your clients or when you start to build those relationships, you really have to listen, and listening is a skill. So really, you know, if you really want to build that relationship with somebody, you know, take a moment, listen to them, and then answer their specific questions. And the easiest way to do that is when somebody says something to you, you repeat what they just said, and then you answer the question. That way they know that you are really listening to them. All right, next is, being social isn't just about chatting on social media. Share informative posts. Share an article that maybe you read that your target audience might really want to know about. You can create image quotes. So super simple. On a great resource for that is Canva. It's Canva, and it's the easy. So like in my second life, I should have been a graphic designer. I just love to design stuff. But you can go to Canva and upload images and quotes and things like that. And look, you have two goals. You either want to entertain or you want to help that target client that you're really trying to reach to. You can write, if you like to write a short article, post it on your website, make it a blog series, or just shoot a quick how-to video. Joy, you do this all the time, right?
Yes.
What days do you do your videos, Joy?
Friday mornings.
So
Monday morning is my motivating Monday quote.
So do you do two then?
Then I do a blog on Friday mornings.
Like a video blog?
No, it's not video.
It's not video. Okay, so you write a blog on Fridays, and then you do a Monday morning video that you share on Facebook Live.
Right.
Yeah, very cool. So were you nervous when you started?
Oh my gosh. It must have taken me 20 minutes to make sure my hair looked right. I had to write clothes on. I had to write light behind me. And then afterwards, like, you know what? Just go for it.
And I swear, the reason I don't do more Facebook Lives is because, like, I don't ever have the makeup on. I work from home, right? So most of the time, my hair is up in the ponytail. I got no makeup on and things like that. But I actually got kind of dressed for today. But look, it doesn't matter. What really matters is the content that you share. It's all in our head, like how we look. People really don't care. The only ones that really care are us. So as long as you're helping, and as long as you're sharing your knowledge and, you know, doing that in the you know, purest of love for people, they're going to appreciate you, and everybody wins in that instance. Okay, so we talked about a couple different things. So again, just attend local meetings, do some networking. If you want to volunteer in the community, it's a great way to reach people, especially like for me. So my daughter has cystic fibrosis, right? So I do all my volunteer work for them. But I was also asked to volunteer a couple years ago for like one special event. And I did that and it was fun and I met great new people. But like if you just are always too busy to do those things, then your reach doesn't extend. And I didn't do it just because I wanted my reach to extend. It's because I really, was heartfelt about helping that particular organization. So you have to do it for the right reasons, but most people do. Another thing you can do is give workshops. I say at your local library because there are free rooms. I know the chamber here at Pittsburgh North Regional has a great room that they rent out to chamber members. I think it's like 30 or it's under $50. 30, 40, or $50 for like a set amount of time. And it's a fabulous room. And so reach out to your local chamber, see if they have a room where you can hold a workshop. You can go usually to a community college. They might have a room available for you. Or you can also do a joint venture, which I would love to see you do with a business owner that, so maybe Lynn, just using you as an example, like if you have an accountant firm or somebody that has a list that you'd like to get in front of kind of, but that are not in direct competition with you, they might be a great one to reach out to and say, hey, can I come in and give a short presentation on, take this training, for instance, how to build relationships with your clients. And I would do the presentation and we'd hold it in your office and you'd invite your whole list, right? Again, it does nothing but set you up and position you as the authority, and you're doing something for their clients and for them for free. It's just a perfect way to build a relationship very quickly. So that's a big tip and trick. So if you want to build your relationships as quickly as possible, meaning building your list, is to do joint ventures and strategic alliances. And just think of all those other people that you'd like to get in front of their list. And, and they would like to get in front of your list, and you just create a joint venture with them. And usually when you offer to do whatever that is, that thing, you have to do all the work for them. So don't kid yourself. So like you're going to have to do your presentation. If you have to have a little workbook, you're going to have to do it. And I always make it, compliments, like Lynn, just using your example, compliments of ABC accountant firm. So like it all looks like it's coming from them. And then there's information about you on that back page, okay? So something like that, you have to do the work for them. They're busy. You want to be in front of their list or their people. All they have to do is invite the people. But look, you have to write the email for them. You have to do the social media posts for them. You have to do the work for them. But then when you show up there and say, hey, how would you like to do this? I have your emails, and here's the dates that you send them, and here's the date that we're going to do this, and we're going to use your room, and we'll get a sponsor for the food and all those types of things. So it is work. But then you build that relationship, you make them look great, and now they feel like, oh my gosh, she's a great partner to be a strategic alliance with. So think about that. Join local organizations like a chamber or look, there's tons of meetup groups. If you go to meetup.com, you can find tons of things that are related to you and your interests. There's Eventbrite, which is huge everywhere, especially around Pittsburgh. And then you can always just donate, resources for online and offline. Just, again, it's all just about building the relationship. How do you give value to somebody else while you promote, yourself and your business as well? Because you don't want to just do it and not gain anything from it. But when you start with the giving attitude, there's nothing any better than that. So for example, I wanted to shoot this one out. So if you're a health coach, I just saw this go through in my feed, this woman named Bess, you can give a personal slant or throw a picture in there. And she's saying, hey, my neighbor today brought over this great food from his backyard, gives out a shout out to the neighbor, but, she's tagging her food and health coaching business, right? So Kathy Perry, she was one of my old members. She does wellness and things like that. So, share things like that. Give shout outs to other people, like this guy that brought over, these great beans or jalapenos or whatever they are for her. Work with other businesses to do that, or just share a tip. Like we had James Malinchak was just in town, who was gave away millionaire entrepreneur secrets for to reach 7 and 8 figures. And like throughout the day, I just took a picture of the slide that he was showing and did a quick quote that he said, and you share it out. And look, you don't think he doesn't love that? I'm tagging him in every picture. I'm promoting him. Look, the event's already going on. There's not going to be anybody else that shows up there. But the next time James wants to do an event in Pittsburgh, who do you think he's going to reach out to, right? He's going to reach out to me because A, I love James, and B, I'm promoting him without expecting anything in return. So the more you do that with people, the better. So number 2 is you have to be authentic. Look, people live and breathe stories. So if you can share a story that happened to you today, last week, last year, on social media or through your email, people learn from those. It's the easiest way people learn. And what James reminded me of is people learn in images. So if you can give something or tell something about a failure that you had, or a success that you had, or a setback that you had, and how you came, the good old US of A, the people love a comeback, right? So anything like that where you got knocked down and came back up again. Like my divorce took 4.5 years, right? But you come back up again. People love those kind of stories. Then look, again, this isn't perfect. It's not ever going to be perfect, but you just get the word out. You get your message out, and people appreciate you for that. So A, don't be afraid. We're going to talk about that a little bit, but be your authentic self. Look, if your hair's up in a ponytail and you have something to say, jump on Facebook Live and use a filter. There's a really cool tool. I don't have it at hand. It's called like Snapcam or something like that, but I'll give it to you next time, where you could actually put a filter from Snapchat downloaded on any, on Loom or on Zoom or any webinar feature that records video, and on Facebook Live. So even if you look terrible, you can put a filter on. But teach from your failures. People learn the best when you teach from something that's actually happened from you. And don't be afraid to do that. So here's James that I keep talking about. And like I share these moments from myself. This is when I just got done on stage over here when I spoke for the Business Coaching Mastery Group to the 100 business coaches in Cancun. It was just awesome. I was so glad I was done. This is the fellow who runs the whole event. And I just said, jump up here, let's take a quick picture. And, look, if I was smarter and not as exhausted, I would have probably done a quick Facebook Live of everybody in the audience. But it's just something that I can share out with my members and people that are aspiring to speak. They might contact me for a speaking engagement, or like, how did you get on stage? Tell me your secrets and tips and things like that. It's really just about, again, positioning you as the person they want to come to for whatever that is. And this is James. James has been had his picture and knows everybody in the world. But guess what? For those 2 seconds, he's standing there with me in Pittsburgh, and everybody else that was at my event that was a VIP got their picture with James if they stayed for it. So now you can use that in your marketing. You can use it in your social media posts. Very cool tactic. Okay, so here's some common areas that either entrepreneurs or coaches have problems handling. Number 1 I put down is procrastination. As you could tell by this morning with my guy running around the back here, we waited till the last minute to, get our background just right and things like that. I know I work best under pressure. It's always been that way since high school. If I had a paper due, I would get some of it done, and then that last minute, I'm just better. Not at procrastination, but I'm better in kind of the last minute. I seem to get everything done. I have it balanced. If you cannot procrastinate, I think it's 100 times better. And when you schedule something, look, you have to get it done by that date, just like this, right? This is our first one. I had all this stuff, I had like 12 things before today that I had to get done because those things were coming first, and I kind of overbooked. So if you cannot procrastinate, it's better. But if you can get it done and get a calendar set up, even better. So like I wish today, and I'm going to open it up for Q&A soon, but I would like to hear, so think about this. I would like to hear, to keep you guys coming back, what do you want to know about? I don't want to just pick a topic. I want topics that you guys want to know about. So I'm happy to talk about whatever they are, and we're going to open it up for Q&A, and I want some good Q&A on topics that you want to talk about. So other things that people have some problems at is balancing, right? Balancing act of work, play, family time. You don't want to work 80 hours a week and miss your kids growing up. You know, you have to have a great balance for that. So you don't want to be a workaholic. You want to be able to turn everything off and, you know, have some time to have family time or dinner time or to go on a vacation and not be so stressed. Okay, number 3, play nice. Look, everybody knows this. Politics, thank God the election's gone. I am so sick of seeing all those ads on TV and things like that. But I would avoid politics. I would avoid religion unless you're like a faith-based life coach or something like that where you have to talk about it. You don't want to be out there, you know, screaming your politics stance and all that kind of stuff. I think there's enough said on this, but listen, I just avoid it, and I suggest you do the same. Number 4, this is the big one. This is the thing I've seen since 2006. You need to step out of your comfort zone. It's the hardest thing to do. I know it's hard to do, but once you do, like after this, I'll be like, yeah, I did it. And next week's going to be easier, and the day out, or the week after that's going to be that much easier. So real life is always here, and your comfort zone might be down here. It's just like when Joy went and did that first Facebook Live. You know, you're nervous, you're afraid, you don't want to make a flub, you don't want to look like a doofus, right? And I'm kind of to the point, I just turned 55, and I'm like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I don't care. Like, if you are going to sit there and judge me because of my pink shirt or how my makeup's on or a hair out of place, then you're not my peeps. You know, I am transparent, and I try and be as real as possible. And if you relate to that, awesome, then you're going to be with me. And if you don't, then I'm probably not the person to follow for you, you know. So just be your authentic self. But I will push you to step out of your comfort zone. It's what I do at my mastermind meetings. I always give that little kick in the rear, like, come on now. You've been doing this for too long. It's time to step out. And when you do, you get so like elation, right? You have so much good stuff. So here's a couple of things that I will challenge you to do this week. And I'd love for you to come back next week and tell me if you did one of these things. So number 1 would be to go live on Facebook. I will give you a little tip to do that. Is one of the things that you can do is in your personal feed, you'll see where it says live video. And if you click on that, it'll come up with a drop down, and you can go to only me, and you can do just a live video from your computer where you would talk about a specific topic, but it only is in your feed. Nobody else can see it ever. So I would say jump on there and practice if you want to practice before you go live. But then even if you do only me, you can download that video and put it onto a YouTube channel. So you can literally do like a 3 series, a 5 series, a 12 series thing that you want to teach somebody by doing only me and utilizing Facebook. And then if you ever want to publish it to Facebook, you can go and do that as well. So you can download it, put it up to YouTube, which is awesome, share it on Facebook. But in the beginning, if you're really, really nervous, just do only me, and you'll be able to, you know, critique yourself. Number 2, get on the stage and speak. Maybe if you're not comfortable with that yet, you know, plan something small at the library that they always look for speakers to come in. It would be a small group, right? So look, it depends on your topic, but you can do a small group that teaches something specific for your target market. And if 2 people show up, so what? You're getting practice, you know, and you'll get better. Reach out to other coaches, offer to do JVs with them, joint ventures. You know, how can you help them? How can I help you? How can I assist you? How can I help you grow your business? Those are the hot buttons for those people, because look, maybe they've always wanted to put a live event on too, but they kind of were nervous about doing it. So now it's the 2 of you, and you can support each other and, you know, go from there. One of my things is tech, right? So that's why Trace was running around here. I just want to turn it on and have it work. I don't like all this fancy background that you see and stuff like that. I don't know how to do that, but he does. So like if tech freaks you out, just outsource it. It doesn't have to be all fancy like this background that I have. You can just have a regular, like your office background. Like I'm looking, you know, at Lynn. It's perfect. You don't have to have anything fancy. And then if outsourcing like freaks you out, learn how to do it. You know, you can jump in and learn how to do these things, but just make sure it's the best use of your time and effort. Okay, I made a top 10 list because I always thought David Letterman's top 10 list was one of the funniest things. So here's the top 10 list of things that I think people are most afraid of. They're afraid of failure, first of all. Always been number 1 since 2006. They're also afraid sometimes to have success because they think, oh my gosh, now what am I going to do? How am I going to one up that? Or, you know, what's going to be even better than what I have right now? So that's always an issue. maybe that people will find out that you're not as, successful or not as successful. They think that you're a fraud in some way. We had one of my mastermind members just mention that at the James event. She goes, look, I just don't want to appear to be a fraud. And that's just in your head, right? You just have to get rid of that. Fear of setting specific goal and measurable goals. If you don't do that, you don't know where you're starting. You don't know how much progress that you've made. So you have to set goals for yourself. Most people are afraid of public speaking. The only way to get over it is to go out and do it. The easiest way to start if you're afraid is to do an only me Facebook Live. Nobody else sees it, but you can practice that way. You're afraid of how people are going to react to you, or maybe you'll get, I hated this, or, you're not like, you get mean on social media, right? You get the mean girls, as I call them, on there saying bad things. I just hit delete, block, delete. If any of that happens, which it usually does not, because like people appreciate that you put yourself out there, I just block them. Like, that's it. I don't want to read the bad comments or anything mad. You just hit block or, and go from there. People are afraid to make commitments because they don't think that they can or will live up to them. They have fear of being noticed, like they just want to blend in with everybody else, but that's not going to grow your business, right? So you have to be out there. They are afraid of giving up control. Maybe, you give out a tactic or a strategy or something that now you lose control of some part of your business instead of delegating it. And fear of accountability. People don't want to be held accountable. So that's one of the reasons most people won't join a mastermind group that I run. They don't want to show up every 30 days and not have anything done and having me say, well, what happened? Wait a minute. We had 3 goals last time, or we had 2 goals last time. And look, sometimes life gets in the way. And sometimes they just need, you need that accountability because you're going to work, 3 nights before to get that one thing done that you didn't. Okay, we're almost wrapped up here. One surefire cause for all of this is if you focus on your community and you focus on helping people instead of what you're afraid of, you will be successful. So number 5 is know and live your brand everywhere. It's just you being in alignment with everything that I just talked about. Whatever you put out there should be how you truly are. And I think it's easy to say, and I think most people do that. It's just such a great reminder. So like I love to showcase members if they're doing something great or standing out in a crowd or, whatever that is for you. So just as long as you're in alignment with, things that you're out there doing or things that you've said in the past, just a reminder to, know and live what that is for you everywhere that you post or are. So if you still need help with this topic, I have a 5-page workbook that I put together on our topic today, and you can just shoot me an email. But I'd like to open it up now if you guys will unmute yourselves and see if anybody had any aha moments here or, just open it up for you to ask any questions or anything like that. So Joy, I'm going to call you out since I know you well and see if there's anything you could share with us today that maybe was just a great reminder. Look, you live and breathe relationship marketing. So, maybe Joy has stepped away to get a coffee. Lynn, I see.
No, I'm here.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, I was on mute. So
that's okay. That's okay.
So no, this was great. And I don't care how much I work on relationship marketing myself and my business. I always pick up great things from you, Becky. So thank you so much for that.
Oh my gosh, you're welcome.
I think one of the things that I like to build relationships with is just celebrating other people.
You're so good at that. Oh my gosh, you were like the epitome of that.
Yeah, just celebrate what other people do and just simple notes, simple shout outs on Facebook, simple anything that especially if it's unexpected.
Right? You really are an expert at that because you utilize send out cards in such a great way that even like here's a great example. So I was at one of my meetings. Joy was there. She took a picture of me holding up my new book that I had just finally gotten done after literally years. And I wasn't even smiling. Like I just kind of was like holding it up to say, finally, I did it. And she snapped a picture, threw it into send out cards, sent me a congratulations note, like, bah. And it was just so unexpected and so great. And you think that people don't remember that? I mean, they remember that so long. So Joy is an expert at that. If anybody needs like help with that or to set up campaigns for your business on something like that, Joy is a great asset for that. Lynn, do you have anything you want to share?
I mean, there's a lot of information that I feel that I can utilize when I'm interviewing people for the agency opportunity that I offer now. You know, because they're always asking, well, how am I going to accomplish this? And what ways can I network and, you know, get leads? So I think that's, you know, good information that I can take away with.
Yeah, Joy, what's the name of the book from Cody that you gave me?
The Power of Human Connection.
Yeah, so that's a great book, Lynn, as a resource, too, that the owner of Send Out Cards wrote. And Joy gifted that to me when I went to one of her events. But it's a great one, too, that you might consider, like anybody who's passed their test, right, and comes to work for you, like kind of like a required reading, and then maybe they would give you like a quick summary of what's in the book.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Lynn, send me your address. I'll get one in the mail to you.
Oh, okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
How do I do that on here?
Well, just find me on Facebook. Yeah,
you two connect on Facebook after, but that is like that's so perfect because because there's so much you can learn from other people, right? Like Lynn, you're busy building your business, so you can't be remembered or reminded of all those things. One of the things that I would suggest to Lynn, for your people that are coming on, is to like every day or like when your people get through training and you're working with them, have them shoot a quick video for you on something that they learned specifically that day that's going to help them in their business. Number one, that's going to help them, figure out how to use Facebook, right, or Facebook Live.
Right.
And you have to do it first to show them what you mean, right? So it's just like clicking only me, and then you going live and saying, hey, all my great partners. One quick thing I wanted to share with you was to not forget about ABC. And look, here's your assignment for the day. Give me a tip that you learned out in the field today or in training today, and send me a quick video back so like I know you're paying attention, or something like that.
Right.
And it just gets them used to being on camera, and it also gets you used to being on camera, but it gets them used to communicating with you too, because if somebody doesn't want to type it up or something like that, they can shoot a quick video and get it over to you. So it's another way. Again, I think the more people use video, I've seen it, the more people use video and the more people communicate that way, it's a quicker way to build relationships. So even if your people take and do a self-introduction possibly to a new client, or say, hey, Jim, this is Lynn's, person that's working for her now. And don't forget, I'm going to be there at 11 a.m. tomorrow. And I need you to, send me back that questionnaire that I sent out, so I'm fully prepared when I come to meet you. Can't wait to see you. Something like that. So they know what they look like, know when they're going to show up. Remember, oh my gosh, I have to get that thing over to him so he can come fully prepared to answer any and all other questions, right? So it's just a quick, easy way to connect. And now I know, like, that person when he walks in the door, he's not a stranger. I know what he looks like and things like that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Joy, and thank you, Lynn. Cindy, anything you want to share? You're great at all this.
Unmute myself.
Okay.
I loved the picture of the comfort zone. That's me every single day, and your list of fears. For me, it's the phone is just the biggest challenge. I'm great at everything behind my computer. I'm great at connecting people, but picking up the phone and calling people is my 64 million pound gorilla on my back.
Yes, I hear you. I understand. So. Yeah, no, you and I communicate a lot anyway through Zoom, which of course this modem is, or it's just easier, right? It's easier to jump on a Zoom because so Cindy does Infusionsoft, which is all visual. And I just I don't want to type it up. I just want to say, Cindy, here's where I'm having trouble, or go fix this, or here's what, it's making me crazy. And she's just so good and so quick at that. So
sometimes it is easier if you're trying to teach somebody, because you usually have, usually when what's in Becky's head and she writes it out, immediately I'll have questions on it. You know, what about this and what about that? That sort of thing. So Zoom is really great. There's a free one that lasts for it'll drop you off at 40 minutes. But
oh, right. That's a great tip. That's
Yeah.
a great tip.
Yeah, so that's a really good one. And if you're interested in finding out about CRMs, you know, if you're on this call or listening later, feel free to give me a call. I know a lot of them out there, and, you know, I'll help you, you know, give you some pointers on where to look for the least expense and the most value.
That's a great offer, Cindy, because there are so many, and even though Cindy's an Infusionsoft expert and certified, she knows all about the other ones, right? Because she has to be knowledgeable and up on all of that. So I appreciate that offer, Cindy, out to everybody. And can they contact you through Facebook too if they need to?
Find me on Facebook. Just notice that my last name is spelled kind of weird. Mourus. I'm the only Cindy who works with that spelling in the whole world. So
That's the way I am with two. There's no other Kohanitzes out there.
All right, good. Well, I wanted to give a resource as we move forward. And I'm sorry, I don't have my phone or my clock. So where are we on time? Can someone shout out the time?
12:14.
Oh my gosh, 12:14? Okay, so good. So I'm like right on time. I'm doing good. So I wanted to share this resource I was thinking, oh my gosh, 12. I was supposed to be off at 12, but it goes at 12:30. So a resource for everybody with the holidays coming up. Has anybody out there heard of the book Giftology?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you haven't, you should all go to Amazon and buy it. This fella, John Rulin, is like the author, and he's pretty awesome. And it goes into the art and science of using gifts to cut through noise, increase your referrals, and strengthen your client retention. It is one of the best books I've ever read. And with the holidays coming up, you can make a huge disaster with sending the wrong gift. So I just wanted to offer it up there. I don't want to pull us off of our, relationship marketing and stuff like that, but I wanted to offer it up there as a resource to everybody. So don't forget that. I will be on live every Wednesday. The link may change because I'm going to be doing, I think, webinar format next week because Cindy and I talked and I'm like, I don't know how to do all this stuff. So it may change, but the chamber will have it posted and I'll have it posted on my Facebook too. So follow me on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. And you can just, if you want reminders, I'm going to actually integrate text and things like that so you get reminded that it's 11:30 and you want to jump on. I know there are other people on here with just a phone number who I can't access and I can't see. I would like to open it up. If anybody else has other questions or comments at this time, I'm happy to answer, and I'm happy to kind of run this like a little baby mastermind group. Like I loved how, how we were talking about that and Cindy offered that up and things like that. So if there's anybody else out there that would like to make a comment or ask a question, I'd love to open that up at this time.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm Rakesh. I'm from the West Bangor Bank Cranberry office. How are you guys? I'm sorry I got on the call a little bit late. Yeah, I mean this is great. I tried this out first time. This is awesome. I'll be joining Wednesdays with this. Thank you. Very informational, and I like the social media thing. Like I said, I kind of live on that. That's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome, Rakesh. Tell me your business again.
Yeah, I'm a banking center manager for West Bangor Bank, right here in Cranberry office. Yeah.
I see. Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, yeah, banks are tough, right? There's so many banks everywhere. So how do you set your banks, especially your branch? Do you just do you run like kind of one branch, Rakesh?
Yeah, just I manage the office in Cranberry.
Yeah. Yeah, so one of the questions would be, how do you set your branch out and make it unique from every other West Banco or any other bank out there, right? So maybe a suggestion, Rakesh, would be to team up with somebody, maybe like a Lynn, that would be able to. So I'm just throwing Lynn. You under the bus there, Lynn.
That's all right. I know Rakesh.
Oh, good. Okay.
I know Lynn very well. Yes, yeah. God.
And look, do a joint venture partnership, whether it's Lynn or somebody else that can bring business clients, because I assume that's where West Banco has a lot of their, wants to get new clients, Rakesh, is that right?
Right, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so I would reach out to other small business owners. And do you have any kind of conference room there or anything, Rakesh?
Yeah, we do have a small conference room. Yes.
Yeah, so like, look, even if there's, a local group that's close by that you could host a small lunch and learn or something like that, and let that, invite that other person in, and they could either present to business clients that you invite in, or you could present to people that they would invite in from their group, or both, depending on how big your conference room is. It's just a great way to position yourself as the authority. And then if you also look, one of the easiest things you can do is to write like today, if anybody wants it, shoot me an email and I'm going to send you this 5-page workbook that you can fill out to use on things that we talked about today. So I kind of do that for all my meetings now because people really love that. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, she taught this, let me just put in there. So it's a specific workbook for you. My point is, Rakesh, if you or anybody else listening is going to do some kind of presentation, or you can create a workbook or a white paper or a cheat sheet or a tip sheet of like the 7 things you have to know before you, kind of hire or pick a bank to work with for your corporation. Anything like that that's an informative tool that you can hand out to business clients, or the people can, when you talk at, if you go to a BNI group or a chamber group or wherever, that you can say, hey, if you want information on, and of course, everything on that list, Rakesh, sets you and West Banco and your branch off about all the things that are unique about you, all the things that are different about you. And if you don't know what they are or can't come up with any, then you need to. So if you need help with that, we'll help you through that. But I appreciate your feedback on this, and I appreciate you jumping in, and I'm so glad that you got something from it.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Anybody else want to weigh in?
Hey, Becky, this is Joy again. Just for all of you that are on here, if you do want to find me on Facebook and friend me, this month, month of Thanksgiving, every day I'm giving one of those books away. So please go on my Facebook page, just make a comment, and you might be a lucky one too.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I think that's so clever. Yeah. So Joy's working it, right? She's building up her list and she's giving value. I mean, that book is what, $25, Joy, or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Joy's buying those books and giving them out as a way to start and build that relationship. So it's just like a perfect, the perfect storm, right? It's a perfect way to build a relationship. Maybe somebody reads that, they sit there as they're reading it and think, oh my gosh, Joy gifted this to me because I made a comment on one of her posts, and she's doing it for the 30 days. Oh wait, over Thanksgiving, right? Instead of Christmas. So an easy way to set yourself apart is to not give a Christmas gift, but to give a Thanksgiving gift, because hardly anybody does that. And it's all teaching about Thanksgiving and what you're thankful for. And, oh, it's you, my customer or my client or my patient. So it's a perfect way to set yourself apart, is to give some kind of Thanksgiving gift card, postcard, shout out, whatever that is, instead of at Christmas time or the holidays when everybody else is like, oh, now I have to, give gifts and things like that. So great way to do that. And thank you, Joy, for offering that and saying that. Anybody else out there want to give a tip or a trick or a comment? All right, we got some quiet out there. That's okay. I don't blame you. It's the first time. But I expect participation in the future. So I'm sure no one next time will come on video because I can see who you are. But I appreciate you. And look, if you want to connect with me, my name is Becky Auer. I'm all over Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. Shoot me an email. Happy to connect with you. But I would love ideas for the next meeting. If anybody's on now and wants to say, hey, I need help with this, I will try and put that together. I'm not promising every time that I'm going to have PowerPoint. I'm not promising every time I'm going to have a workbook. I wanted to start this way because I wanted to give value right off the top and talk about things that are important. Look, if you just go to a networking meeting and just kind of throw up all over somebody and, oh, here's your business card and, oh, I don't care, it's just kind of like, you're just there to get. You have to give first. And I think everybody knows that. I think it's just such a great reminder. I have one fella who's a friend of mine that came to see me at a boot camp when I was presenting in Atlanta. And like, he friended me on Facebook, but like he just bombards me with, do this, like this, help. But like, he never really offers like any value or any reason to, other than I met him at one event, So I did it for the first couple of times, and now I've just become annoyed with it. So you don't want to be that person either. You always want to be able to add value to that customer, client, patient, and start with the conversation that goes on in their head. Okay, any last comments before we wrap it up?
Thank you. Great job.
Thank you, Becky.
Oh my gosh, you're so welcome. And I don't have the workbook 100% done. It's about 90% done. But if you want it, again, shoot me a PM on Facebook or just send me an email. And once I get it done, I will shoot it over to you. And I'm going to call it a wrap for the day. Not bad for a first time. I'm happy with how things came out. So thank you for participating. My name is Becky Auer. I appreciate you. Find me online. And if you need any help with anything, I am a business coach to the business coaches, and run local groups, mastermind groups, VIP groups. And this is my passion, and I love it. So thank you for being here. And please join me next month, and please share with other people I'd love to help them too. All right, guys, have a great rest of the Wednesday.
Thank you, Becky.
You're welcome. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.